This is Realize as Amaquiton, and I'm here to prove how math and science are related to variations. Do you know that math and science are related to variations? Yes, they are related and connected. Why ask? Well, math and science are related in many different ways. Since math and science has brought a great impact in our world and how we live our lives today. Well, how do you think they are related? Because I think without them both, our world wouldn't have improved and many people will continue to suffer. Without them, we wouldn't have the medicine to cure the sick, delicious food to feed the hunger, and the machines, vehicles, appliances, and many more to help people live life easily. That is why I think math and science are quite related, almost related. But do you know that their processes are also quite related? Yes, it is related, since math and science uses formulas to solve problems and to have concrete solutions, and to discover new things. One of the formulas that math and science use is the variation, which is one of the factors that makes math and science connect. To make it understand, I will show you an example of a variation problem. The problem that we have here is, using her bicycle, Sophia traveled a distance of 10 kilometers per hour on a steep road. First, in the given table of values, in 1 hour traveled 10 kilometers, in 2 hours traveled in 20 kilometers, in 3 hours traveled in 30 kilometers, in 4 hours traveled in 40 kilometers, and in 5 hours traveled in 50 kilometers. So, let us now try to answer the following questions. Question A. Show that distance varies directly as time. Question B. Draw the graph of distance against time. Question C. Write an equation showing relationship between distance and time. Question D. How far Sophia traveled after 8 hours and 10.5 hours. First, let us answer question A. Show that distance varies directly as time. The first thing that we will be doing is to find the ratio of each. The formula of finding the ratio will be ratio is equals to distance divided by time. So we will be dividing the time and distance that Sophia traveled. So it will be 10 divided by 1 is equals to 10, 20 divided by 2 is equals to 10, 30 divided by 3 is equals to 10, 40 divided by 4 is equals to 10, and 50 divided by 5 is equals to 10. Therefore, 10 is constant and distance varies directly as time. Next is question B. Draw a graph of distance against time. As you can see, using the Cartesian plane, you can plot the ordered pairs of the given points. And as you may notice, as the time increases, the distance also increases. And if the time will decrease, the distance will also decrease. Next is question C. Write an equation showing the relationship between distance and time. So how do we get our equation? Our variation is direct variation, because we will know if the variation is direct if we divide the time to the amount of distance it travels. And if all of the numbers has the same number, such as 10 earlier in question A, then the variation is a direct variation. So the equation will be, because ratio is equals to the distance divided by time is equals to 10, the equation relating distance and time is distance is equals to 10 times time. Now, let us check. When you multiply 10 to the time, the answer will be the distance. Example, 10 times 2 is equals to 20 kilometers, which is the distance traveled in 2 hours, while 10 times 3 is equals to 30 kilometers, which is the distance traveled in 3 hours. Now in question D, we will be using distance is equals to 10 times time as an equation, so the time is 8 hours and 10.5 hours. Now, let us try the equation first at 8 hours. So 8 hours will be the time and distance will be 10, so we have to multiply 8 to 10. So the answer will be 80, so 80 kilometers is traveled in 8 hours. And now let us try it in 10.5 hours. The time will be 10.5 hours and the distance will be 10 and be multiplied in 10.5 hours. So 10 times 10.5 hours is 105 kilometers. So it means that 105 kilometers is the distance traveled in 10.5 hours. This is an example of a direct variation, showing relation of the distance and the time traveled. This problem is related in both math and science since they both study distance and time.